Today we're talking about 2 more fragrances from Dossier. Please stay tuned. My dears, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate that you guys are hanging out with me today. If you've never heard of Dossier, they're a company that brings you inspired fragrances that are comparable to niche and designer brands. They're also cleanly resourced, so they try to mimic as close as possible the notes of the designer or the niche brand, so it smells like probably your favorite fragrance. Packaging comes like this. It's a simple box, orange interior, and then the fragrance sits in here. Sometimes you're going to find that you'll get a sample and sometimes not. But Dossier stands by, if you don't like what they're giving you, if you don't like the fragrances, you could return it. So please keep that in mind. It's a win-win for you, don't you think? The bottle in itself is a beautiful glass bottle with a magnetic cap, like so. So it really, speaks to a little bit of luxury at a discount. Okay. One of the things that I really like about these fragrances as well is it comes with a card, so you can know what notes are in there and whether or not those notes are going to be vibing with you, or if you want to put it on your skin first, which is what I prefer, to see if it vibes with me, and then I'll determine whether or not I hold on to it or not. So this here today, we're talking about Woody Vetiver is one of the fragrances, and it's inspired by Frederic Malle Vetiver Extraordinaire. So let me read the notes to you guys. In Woody Vetiver is pink pepper, bergamot, bitter orange, middle notes of vetiver, cedarwood, and myrrh, and then the base notes are sandalwood, musk, and oak moss. When I wore this, which I have worn it a couple times, I thought that it was really pretty, to be quite honest with you. I really think that it's a fragrance. Yep, it's a fragrance that's nice and fresh. If you're a vetiver lover, I think that you would like this one. It's really light as well, so it's not very cloying at all. If you are into vetiver fragrances, you might want to give this one a try. If you're close to a Saks or a Neiman's, you can also try and go and see if they have Frederic Malle in stock, and then you can get a sample and you can test it that way. Woody Vetiver actually leans a little more masculine on my skin than I would like. I wouldn't mind wearing it, but I would have to toss some vanilla in there to soften it up a bit. I think it would be much better for a man or a woman who likes fragrances that are more stronger vetivers. But this here, the oak moss is actually pulling through from the base, so I actually really like it, but I wouldn't wear it as much. I would really think that a guy would really prefer this, and that is Woody Vetiver, which is inspired by Frederic Malle Vetiver Extraordinaire. So the next fragrance we're talking about is Dossier's Citrus Neroli. Now you hear Neroli, so you know it's another Tom Ford. I think Dossier likes to create Tom Ford-esque fragrances, because a lot of the fragrances that I pick happens to be Tom Ford fragrances. So this one here is inspired, as I mentioned, by Neroli Portofino. Notes in this are neroli, bergamot, mandarin. It's got all the fruity flavors, as well as some musk and some amber. I think that this would be a favorite for people who like that nice fresh feeling that Neroli Portofino gives you, with a slight tint of sweetness to it as well. Citrus Neroli comes the same packaging, the box, the simple box, the bottle, magnetized cap, and I actually really like the sprayers on these. I don't know if I mentioned it before. This is really nice and fresh. I wouldn't wear this in the winter. I would probably wear this more towards the spring, summer time frame, only because it's so heavily based with citrus notes. So I think it would be more suited to that time of the year. So again, this is Citrus Neroli, which is inspired by Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino. Now, I would like to know, do you guys have Dossier fragrances? Do you like Dossier fragrances? Do you like inspired fragrances? Do you have an aversion to buying inspired fragrances? Hit me up down in the comment section and let me know what your thoughts are on that. Whether you stick to the designer and you don't want to do inspired or dupes, I want to know. I want to have that kind of conversation with you. It's thought-provoking in my eyes anyway. I hope this was a little helpful for you to determine whether or not you want to tip your toes into Dossier fragrances. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you spending a little time with me. I hope to see you again. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.